and Salas in the play-in.
Ooh, Aatrox open.
Yeah, that's a big one here. Lissandra will be his first new mid lane of the group stage, though, itself, and Aatrox going to be locked in. We'll see. Breathe. What does he want for the counter?
Yeah, this is a pretty common thing for RNG, where they will give over Aatrox because Breathe would like to play Jax. They are hovering the Aurelia, but...
Yeah, there it is.
That is just a hover. They wanted to get a little bit of a rise out of the crowd. I will say, the fans here in New York, there is a lot of LPL fandom that is either local or made the trip over here, so we have possible dueling chance here depending on who is getting the upper hand in the game.
Yeah, oh, right now Graves, the extended hover here, puts it very damage heavy on this side of the map. Not a huge Senna team here, RNG, not a huge Seraphine team either, though. Often when you see double carry topside, you often play a bit more supportive down to the bottom. But we'll see what's going to come through here for FBI. It looks like Aphelios, who has done quite well here at Worlds.
Yeah, FBI's definitely had a rough group stage so far, was down about 40 CS at 15 against Ruler when Ruler had the Aphelios. So I do really like them being able to get their hands on the Aphelios this early in the draft. They're waiting on their support pick. Huhi's definitely one of the more versatile supports, so I can understand that, especially if Closer didn't want to get pinched too hard in jungle, knowing that RNG had already locked in Graves.
So Aphelios, by the way, currently has the most wins of any AD carry in the group stage so far. 6-2 has been a strong pickup here. Akali gets to come in for Xiaohu. That's going to be fun. We'll see what Abbeddage can do to answer him after 2 sets of bans.
Yeah, I think the default would be Silas, but there are 2 bans here for RNG. I expect them to take that off the table at the moment, and it does really narrow what Abbeddage can be effective on. Azir has been such a great pick for him. LeBlanc is a strong pick for him as well. Orianna is no longer available to be picked, so we're going to have to see. I definitely think we'll see 2 shots taken at Abbedage's champion pool with these RNG bans.
All right, aiming at the Lucian-Nami duo that RNG are so keen to play down there. Seeing what other answers might be available for the Aphelios. Closer also want to talk about who, I mean, when he gets going, I think has been one of the better carries on 100 Thieves. People to take over a game and actually win for the team. I think Closer is really up there, and Viego, I think, so comfortable for him. So if you're saying, hey, maybe there's a way 100 Thieves wins, they do have champions that I think would lend to that.
I mean, when 100 Thieves first lifted the LCS trophy, I know I'm going back over a year, it was with pop-off performances from Closer's Viego, so you're definitely trying to do anything possible when you are in a situation like 100 Thieves is in right now at 0-2, and I think, honestly, the first 3 picks for them couldn't be much better for what has worked for them in the past and what is currently in meta. It's a very great start to the draft for 100 Thieves.
As you mentioned the Silas, though, here is a big one, though, for Gala. Oh yes, Kai'Sa, an absolute stellar champion for him. As time ticks down, hovers around. Misfortune, by the way, 0-4 in the group stage. 2 of those actually on FBI himself, as pops off of that one, goes back to, I think it's actually going to be Kai'Sa. Going to be locked in here for Gala.
I mean, listen, this is very much, for Gala, a pick because Gala is a good Kai'Sa. Not because it necessarily fits the team composition. Kai'Sa is not naturally winning versus Aphelios in lane. Aphelios outranges early, can definitely push Kai'Sa in for most of the early game, and then the way Kai'Sa comes back oftentimes is if you have a good way for your teammates to apply the plasma so that Kai'Sa can fly in, of which RNG does not have. The only thing they have right now is the Jax E, so this is not a good Kai'Sa angle, but Gala is a very good Kai'Sa, so that's why I think they picked it.
Yeah, you can ulti a backline stun, that is Jax only doing it. You stack up the plasma as you're mentioning, that is Jax only doing it. Maybe an Alistar comes through as an option here, looking at Shen would be an odd take, but allows you to play really heavily toward top side. We have been seeing a bit more from the LCS angle. EG in particular was playing towards the top side, but Leona is going to be locked in now. That might help my pick'ems. I have her for most deaths possibility, but a lot of
not going to help
here.
This game. No, we'll see.
Yeah, 0-0-0-17 for Huhi.
Shen could definitely work piggybacking against Akali, but again, it would not be natively strong in lane. That's not to say it's impossible for RNG to make an outplay and make it good. So we'll see what Ming ends up settling on. Amumu or Nautilus, I think, are the most likely.
Team fight, engage. If you lock him down, he's gonna die. It's almost always Glacial on the champion. No Kalista to keep you safe. Almost never do you run Aftershock to make sure you can frontline. You're hoping the stun is enough, and your team cleans up from there. And it's 4 damage champions and an Amumu.
Yeah.
Ming is like, y'all better have gold. This is a one-way trip otherwise. 100 Thieves, a much more well-rounded composition. Aatrox has been so much the man of the draft. Of course, Maokai now hitting the ban table so regularly. Maybe you never see him almost ever again here at Worlds, but a lot of cover for 100 Thieves. We'll see if they can play to the level of the LPL 4th seed.
Yeah, not the level of, or will they be played at the level of the MSI champions?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's the question, because I think so far in the group stage, it's been more the latter. And even in terms of talking about Ming on dangerous support picks, he's already found success on support set when he didn't have the Kalista either. So it's a very unforgiving pick, that Amumu.
That's the record.
10 is the current longest NA win streak. Not that that's a tracker I want to be actively updating, but just to note.
Oh, this could already be spicy. Way over the wings.
It's
as
so
the squad
weird
comes
with
around.
Ssumday's here, but this
The
is a
ward.
good start.
There's the stun. Does he learn E? Yes, has to learn E. That's going to make his laning phase much worse, but I don't believe they have the damage to follow through.
Flash.
Oh, the Q slow. The slow from Akali. First blood comes across for Gala.
I mean, that's a pretty classic level 1 opening for RNG. You send 4 through river, you get the person who can dash over the wall to fly into Tri-Brush, someone else wards it, you get the CC over the wall, and it's also a very dangerous push to be checking that maybe they bring Aatrox down there because he's the only one who can build dash level 1, but it's still not enough, probably because of the Glacial Augment slow. But yeah, tons of teams do this where you see the bot lane is who wards over. Ming has 2 bandage tosses, lands both of them perfectly.
Yeah.
And Ssumday flashes a little late, gets killed for first blood, and it goes over to Gala.
Yeah, it does feel to me a certain bit like greed. That second bandage toss, you can react to with your flash. Get you over the wall, okay, cool stun, nice ward, well played. But you know the timer of Q2, and you can see him coming. Just burn your flash and take the L. He doesn't lose his flash anyway, and now Gala's also going to be moving bot lane with an extra longsword.
Yeah, not going to make that lane any easier, and very bad start for 100 Thieves, because let's talk about this. First pick, Aatrox. Why is Aatrox such a priority pick? Right now, his counter pick is Fiora, and most teams don't execute that, plus it was banned in this game. Jax can beat it, but doesn't naturally get pushed. So when Ssumday loses flash level 1, he cannot play aggressively in that lane. Jax gets pushed. Talk about this bottom lane as well. Well, the Aphelios normally would be able to shove the Kai'Sa with range advantage, but the all-in now is so much stronger for RNG because of the extra combat stats from the longsword. It's much more dangerous to try and push because RNG can come back. So it's possible that that took 2 winning lanes for 100 Thieves and turned them into 2 losing lanes for 100 Thieves.
At the very least, early push still belongs to FBI and Huhi, first level 2. Trying to see what XP they can deny as Breathe once again looks for a trade and backs way before Ssumday can even auto-attack him back. Still, health bar decent enough with the Doran shield healing. And trying to hit some Qs to heal a bit more as well. There hits the sweet spot, gets a bit more back, but as Breathe's at half HP, he's still got biscuits, he's still got a refill potion to push through the stacks way, so getting his farm going as well. Gets his Legend Alacrity stack from his assist and makes that clear ever so slightly faster.
Yeah, we got the triple cam coming out, so Wei would hope to contest the Scuttle Crab, and Jax can actually shadow into the river here. You can see him moving down, so this makes it more difficult for Closer.
Push too, though.
But Taliyah has push.
Oh, that was Closer who claimed it. Wei smited early, and I think that was just a Q stab. Closer, yeah, gets the Scuttle.
Yeah, and this could be a double Scuttle angle as well. They can now cross together through mid lane, get Prio back. Bot lane has push, so Closer will get double Scuttle here. Nice play there by Closer.
I even like the option select of him charging his stun, where it's like, if I flash with a minion, we hit confirm the seismic shove, and maybe you die there. Xiaohu just plays far enough away that he's fine. It is indeed double Scuttle, as you mentioned here, and though first blood came through to RNG, 500 gold with the diminished assist pool. It is much of that gold walked back via the early game. The double Scuttle, the farm lead. Of course, there are still many minions to kill, but 100 Thieves actually playing an early game quite well.
Yeah, well played by 100 Thieves as well, maintaining push in this bottom lane, not giving Ming angles to land bandages yet to all in against them. Interesting that Wei is sticking around this long. All he can do is get vision, and then he's definitely delaying his reset.
Oh, and he's going to spot close with it, who doesn't walk by or into the brush, so Wei doesn't... So Wei has all the info. Closer doesn't know anything about this. He can see the little 1 gold zombie ward. He goes, I got you, bro. And it's just going to be the recall. Information known. The important thing is, yeah, the first recall came through early. So Viego is on the map first. He can go back down to his rapids and whatnot. Looks like he went to go cover topside and make sure Ssumday wasn't going to get ganked under the tower. Indeed, he wasn't. He was safe. And he's like, okay, back to the clear.
Ssumday also doing very well early on in this lane, despite not having the flash, having a huge wave crashed up against Breathe here. The last game Ssumday played on Aatrox at Worlds was also very successful. He was far ahead in laning phase, just couldn't transition it to victory. So the early disaster looks like it has been averted for 100 Thieves, and they're successfully stabilizing the game.
And a support roam for Huhi, who I believe skipped the recall that FBI took, simply walked up mid. I don't believe he walked through any wards on his way up, but Xiaohu's still playing far enough away. Abbeddage doesn't go for the hopeful seismic shove. And ultimately nothing is gained there. Ming walks his way down also, sweeps for any aggressive wards, spots none, as there aren't any, and go back to a holding pattern into the lanes. Steel caps in for Ssumday, he's TP'd. Breathe is what he walked back to his lane. Longsword in tow. Q3 is gonna land, decent damage there. Counter-Strike does take 15% reduced damage from AoE abilities, so actually does affect the Q3 of Aatrox by a small degree. Saves him like 40 health, walks back anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Could have a big fight here, 3v3.
Oh, 3v3, you're right, closes here. They can go right onto Ming. He's been stunned. Do they have the damage? The follow-through so well timed. Huhi times the Zenith Blade. Doesn't care about the flash. And 100 Thieves are on the board.
Well read by 100 Thieves and well executed by Huhi. Also, Xiaohu is level 6 and was thinking about joining, but he is just not fast enough. Huge play for 100 Thieves.
And of course, they've got to chant TSM.
That is not the tri-code.
Yeah. Most known for not winning games at Worlds. Here, 100 Thieves, I guess, to be fair, in a similar boat so far. But so far, so good in this one. Equal in gold. Scaling is a question to be answered much later on. It seems roughly close from what I can tell. As FBI will take this wave out of the tower, get a little bit of root damage. But RNG, though tied in gold, have control of the bottom river. They lost the support, but as the recalls come through, they're going to get first Drake. And this puts them ahead on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so able to take advantage of some timely recalls by 100 Thieves to take this Drake. Early Infernal, not the most powerful, but it gets stronger as the game progresses. So it's going to be good for RNG to have that in their back pocket.
Yeah. Statistically, like, recursively looking at professional games and trying to pull out data, it's worth an 800 gold lead, and I believe it's 14 minutes. That, like, 800 gold lead versus an Infernal Drake has the same win rate. All else being equal.
Yeah.
It doesn't always matter in every individual game, but I find the data interesting.
Yeah, specifically for RNG as well, a team that has so much damage is definitely going to up those thresholds of possibly getting some kills.
Breathe gets level 7, goes in for a trade, but closes around. He's going to get pulled back.
Okay.
Can they kill him? His flash is up. They keep landing the stuns, and Breathe will drop closers 2-0.
Closer Viego down 0-2 in group stage, calls back to the pick that possibly put him on the map to many fans. He's got a whole bunch of jungle camps up now too to continue his acceleration in this game.
And the crowd learns the correct chant here in New York.
It's crazy. RNG and 100 Thieves through the headset sound very similar. So I couldn't tell if that was a 100 Thieves chant or an RNG chant. Okay.
I
looked at the fans and most of them smiled and waved, which would tell me that it is a 100 Thieves chant.
I gotta say, be able to smile and wave at the audience, and I love you so much, thank you. I have missed this for like 3 years straight. Thank you all so much. Let's see if it's gonna be enough here for the hometown favorites of 100 Thieves. And you've got RNG already back to the races though, maybe down 1,000 gold. But will they get Herald? Ssumday walks into 3, flashes the Amumu stun, but the follow-through is still gonna be good enough. He's gonna drop the Xiaohu.
Yeah, definitely Ssumday was just checking because with Kai'Sa bottom lane, 100 Thieves really wanted to fight this. They can still possibly push them off. Look where Kai'Sa is, so even with the dead Aatrox, it would be a 4v4 once Aphelios survived. It resets. But 100 Thieves is on a timer here. That's a huge wave crashing into the bot wave, and FBI is just so sad that he's missing out on the CS, but he's committed this move, and they might go for the Herald.
Oh, they're going to look to skip that one and maybe go for Breathe instead, but he jumps to a mid. He's going to be completely fine. The entire play is called off. So RNG, so well done. They get a kill. They get about 2 waves and 2 plates in the bottom lane. Gala is, I'm just going to guess, ahead of FBI at this point in time now. Gold and XP-wise, something going to be sent down to the bottom lane. His TP will come up before Breathes. That's not going to matter in the short term, though, because, hey, without an AD carry around, this is probably a safe Herald play.
Yeah, I mean, Gala got first blood, 400 gold. He gets 2 solo plates, 320 gold, and that's about what his gold lead is over FBI. It's roughly 500 or 600 gold, which accounts for the assist that FBI has. Because 100 Thieves did move up their entire bot lane, though, they do get the Herald. So they can technically pay it back if they're able to drop the Herald in FBI's lane.
Decent seismic shove, good damage. Xiaohu, no real offensive stats yet. I guess there was a bit of health in his inventory, but no MR. He went for the Sork Shoes to be the assassin, hoping to dodge the heavy amount of stuns here on the 100 Thieves lineup. Purple Gun, Abbeddage's Rocks, Closer W, Huhi's entire kit. All those could be more treadsable. Goes for the more aggressive option here on the Akali. It's going to rely on his positioning. And maybe the runes as well. Legend Tenacity almost certainly in there. And pretty likely with Resolve Secondary to have that kind of that base covered. He's still low on MR.
Yeah, and as we progress towards the second Dragon and 100 Thieves resetting to likely bring these waves back, so much of this game is going to focus on Ming. So really watch if he can find an engage angle, and conversely, if 100 Thieves can just kill him. Because he's not going to be that tanky 0-1-1 on Glacial Augment Amumu, and there is a lot of, I guess, first strike damage. They don't have the rune, but just like the first team to go. 400 Thieves, Leona can CC, Viego can even get one stun onto the Amumu, and the rest of the team can probably give fatal damage. So if 100 Thieves is able to push the waves and have first setup in River, I don't think RNG has the people to be able to walk in. So that's going to be 100 Thieves' win condition this game, is if they can continue to keep their waves pushed and be first on objectives, that is their path to victory.
Well, the walk on up here, 3 topside, looking to get the entire tower here. Now, if no one but Xiaohu is around, you can get a lot done, but it looks like FBI instead is just simply going to share in part of the plates. 160 to the Aphelios, 160. Yep, he's in the extended range there. 160 goes to Closers, Viego as well, but they will not crack an entire turret. Xiaohu still feels safe to win, but now they try again in a 3v1, and he will back off.
They're going to get it, though, but they're going to completely give up this Dragon. So this is definitely a strategy we saw a lot more about 2 months ago, before Dragons were increased in power by about 50%. So very strategic here to just get gold on Aphelios. Current 80 carry item gap was Kraken Slayer to Noon Quiver Pickaxe. So 100 Thieves opts to not take the fight, get the gold to FBI, and go next.
Yeah. And especially if you say, hey, we actually don't have control. It's Mythic Gap right now. We don't have the power to beat Gala in a team fight. He's got Cleanse. We can't stun lock him. Okay, best we can do is cross map. And that angle, I can respect. It keeps the game relatively close. He has 2 Dragons to 0. But it's 2 Dragons to 0 against a 2,000 gold gap. Just the top scoreboard. If you remove everything else, probably favors 100 Thieves just a little bit.
Yeah. So through 12.5 minutes, 100 Thieves definitely having one of their best games of group stage thus far. But NA's had actually a number of close games. No one remembers those, though, if you never close it out for a victory.
Nope. They're going to push now toward the bottom side there. Wei is around, but you've got Akali in the top side. Empowered teleport not available. Only the basic one still. It's not 14 minutes, but the wave is cleared easily by Wei.
Yeah, 100 Thieves just getting some deep vision. There's really not that much on the map right now, so either someone on RNG has to be out of position for 100 Thieves to punish, or they're just going to keep farming up. If you're 100 Thieves, you would actually be fairly content just continuing to get gold onto FBI's Aphelios. If you think back to the times where 100 Thieves was most successful, it's when they have a clear identity on the way that they want to play the game. There were years where that was diving bottom lane. There were years where that was diving top lane. And then this year, actually, it was kind of about having low volatility games, getting to about 25 minutes, and just having a better teamfight comp. That's actually what they've been able to achieve so far in this game. The only thing working against them, I'd say, would be the fact that Gala has a lot of gold, and the fact that we're 2 Drakes away from a soul. But for the most part, you could take nameplates off and say this is kind of how 100 Thieves wants the game to go.
We'll see if it's going to be enough, though, against RNG. Much like the rest of the cohort in the LPL, known for very good team fighting, and we'll see if that's going to work out well for them as we move on, because pretty soon there will be a team fight. There will be a fight over this Mountain Drake in just 3 minutes. It's a pretty accelerated timer here as well. As you look to the top side, Demolish going to be available. Chunks that one down for about 15%. Ssumday lanes a Q, takes out the turret shot. And Wei, once again, is there for every siege. Every time there is a wave actually reaching a tower, Wei is here to say, is it going to be okay? It is. Meanwhile, Gala, alone on the bottom side, was safe enough to go for even more himself. But 100 Thieves is going to be counter-jungling in the top side of the map right now. Red buff going to be available. The Raptor's taken as well. You still take the 500 gold of an outer turret, but at least something claimed. And well, that was nearly vision asymmetry. Way almost up with a sweeper, and maybe there's a play, but no one was really around to help cash that one in.
Absolutely. A lot of map splitting going on overall. Gala is, I mean, I can't say enough good things about Gala. He is an insanely good player, and when you get to 3 or 4 items on Kai'Sa, you still become a menace, even if the only CC setup they have is a Jack stun or an Amumu ultimate.
Way is around. Does he get the vision? No, with the smoke screen, he can't go for it anymore. This is going to be claimed. I believe a smite goes through for Way also. Bottom scuttle also going to be his. So red buffs were traded back and forth. End of the day, 100 Thieves got to take some Raptors, but Gala still took a turret and is nearly at Phantom Dancer. Will easily have it in time for the dragon fight.
Yeah, gold is very even for the AD carries, but the build paths they're taking are very different. So it looks like FBI is going Gale Force Bloodthirster. It's a much higher cost build, so the 2-item power spike will come through onto the Kai'Sa first.
And they also took the sidestep for Boots 2 as well. Certainly not a bad call by any means, but it just means that his 2-item spike, 3-item spike, they're going to be later on as Gala sits there on barely Boots 1 here. Herald number 2 started. Abbeddage going for the poke.
Yeah, they're taking it, but if Huhi or Abbeddage could get any type of engage onto Ming, it would be a clear go button for 100 Thieves. RNG's showing him a lot of respect, though.
Yeah, TP comes in, but after the objective is already gone, Xiaohu is around. Breathe coming down. Closer
100 Thieves a bit
hopes have
split.
the move speed to live. Indeed, they'll get out. Ssumday was on the bottom side. He's taking Krugs currently, so that is a TP burn for a Herald still taken by the LCS. Last hope of getting a single win in the first round robin.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice sequence that we saw there. So it was a lot of conservative map splitting by both teams. I would say, actually, when Wei stole the red buff from Closer, that was a bit of an overstay, and it gave 100 Thieves the time to actually get the proper setup on that Rift Herald and take it. So 100 Thieves is going to take that every day of the week if you consider the Rift Herald for red buff trade, which is effectively what happened.
And we're on a Phantom Dancer now. 35 seconds till the Drake comes up. Teleport available for Ssumday. Abbeddage do not know if he could spellbook over to that right now. But we know that Breathe could match that teleport no problem. He is in the top side. RNG have the 2-item marksman. There is substantially more power in Gala's hands than FBI's. As Closer summons a Rift Herald to try to go for the mid-turret. The rest of RNG coming around to hold this one. Gets a root. Really good damage. That chunk could mean so much. As Gala puts down about 2/3 HP. The Herald charge will land. It will not quite kill the turret, but it puts it low. As Abbeddage get the attacks in. Ming posturing up with the crown. He might feel safe. This turret is 1 hit from dead, but Abbeddage cannot risk it. Cannot greet it. I don't believe he actually was in range for a local turret because he didn't damage it, didn't get the extended range, but that's still 250 into the inventories. But now can they zone out RNG?
He still has his crown up. This is a bit of a sloppy entrance to River from 100.
And jump in is stunned. Flash ult! Is it enough? Ming could drop, burns a stopwatch. One burn as well. Breathe in the front line. Way flash to safety. Xiaohu gets one. Trade it back for Ming. Will we get the reinforcements? So Closer finds his stun, but will he live? Flash to safety. Ssumday is low. Breathe is on for the shutdown, and this could be all they need. He'll look for the stun. A dive in kills Huhi, and it is indeed RNG with more to be done. FBI is caught out. The double kill for the top laner, and RNG will claim a Drake as their consolation prize.
If you give RNG the smallest window to engage, they will find it. 100 Thieves spends a bit too much time killing mid-turret. Ssumday's a bit slow to come down, and the river vision wasn't carefully taken by 100 Thieves, so RNG just goes all in. Ming finds that perfect engage, and the rest of RNG can clean up. Watch this one more time. Just look where Aatrox is on the minimap, and FBI is just kind of in river, but they don't see everyone. So as the controller goes down, Ming goes in and just hard stuns 3 people. That buys the time for Xiaohu to nearly one-shot the Taliyah, and FBI is never safe to free fire because the fight lines were never able to be set up for 100 Thieves. Closer gets the reset, tries to buy them enough time, but Breathe has arrived, is untouched for most of the fight. They can just continue chasing through and clean up the fight.
Gala just chasing him down. Nice ulti as well, even if there wasn't going to be a motion for a jump. Always the killer instinct available. Beautifully done by RNG. Is going to put him heavily now into the lead. 3 Drakes to 0. Gold lead in inventory now as well. We can tick down 4.5 minutes. 400 Thieves hope they would like FBI to have a Bloodthirster done, a second item complete. Maybe a Zonius for Abbeddage there as well. They're going to hope the items can come in time. So he gets this turret for himself. The DPS should be high enough. No one's contesting. That is at least gold in inventory. But RNG definitely ahead in this game.
And RNG has been playing off the back foot for about 8 minutes. They did a very good job of not losing out while 100 Thieves had good map positions. and playing towards their win conditions, which is when 100 Thieves tries to take an objective, that's when they're finally going to expose themselves to take fights. But if you look at the way RNG is positioning, generally Wei is just shadowing the lane that needs to get pushed so that they're not in risk of dying. They're taking all the safe CS. You can see they're doing it very well. Gala is getting more and more fed. And when they need to, that's when they get aggressive. So it's actually very calculated risks and safe play that has gotten RNG to this point.
It's really nice because it allows them to be like fairly ultimate based. Where, yeah, okay, as long as Ming can press R, he'll buy enough time. Okay, that's just gonna be a kill. There we go. Lands Q, lands R, no way out for Huhi. Can't even stun, can't press W, does nothing, just drops right away. And there's that safe aggression. They got that little pocket of vision. They see support wanted towards something, and they collect 400 gold.
Yeah, another misstep there by 100 Thieves. So that kill went to Gala, didn't it?
I think so.
Gala and 9.3 thousand gold. 1,000 gold ahead. Speaking though, the safe play is still there. Xiaohu just dipping out as Closer gets spotted on the control ward. Xiaohu was able to be pushed up that 4 because he spent the time to get the deep vision. And because they see 2 people, Breathe now knows that there is no jungler on this side. Ssumday doesn't know that there's no jungler on this side, so he has to back away.
As the support and jungler come around, he starts to feel a little bit safer. Says, I can at least walk up for XP range, and Breathe kind of senses it as well. He's going to be able to easily jump away from that. Will not quite claim the turret, but that is soon to be more gold inventory. RNG, by the way, you looked at top lane at all. That's nice. Your mid lane turret's going to die. Gala playing happily aggressive. I believe got his share of the gold there from tagging the turret. And just, you can kind of see the differences in how willing they are to siege. You saw Abbeddage with a Herald 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. Well, I don't know if I can walk up there. Mumu's in range, and Gala's like, hit this in your face. Like, you're not going to do anything to me. And he was right.
Yeah, looks like turrets are going to be equalized as well here. You can see Wei again just shadowing Breathe in case any funny business was attempted by 100 Thieves. He's there to give confidence. And they also see the reset. They kill this very fast. Phantom Dancer, Kai'Sa, also Graves. It is spotted out, so that'll almost certainly take them off of it.
On the vision, they show that they're stopped hitting, and indeed it has been fully stopped down, so not a play anymore, hoping that maybe people were greedy on the wrong side of the map, maybe if they went bot lane or something. He's still in the mid, though. There's not going to be anything else to do. But Aatrox catches the wave in the top lane, and now we are a minute and 30 away from Mountain Soul. A 24-minute Soul RNG. Likely to grab it here. 2.3K separates these teams. 100 Thieves have to fight up against a deficit.
Yeah, if the Soul is picked up, I think it is a 90% win for RNG. So this is a must-win setup or fight for 100 Thieves. One misstep around the mid lane, around setup where they're trying to push a wave before they have vision. RNG, we know, can pounce on them. Ming from the Fog of War with the Bandage Toss could be what ends the game for RNG. We'll see, though. You can see 100 Thieves over-prioritizing this at the moment. They've left top lane, so Breathe is going to get deep push. That's because now 100 Thieves had more people. They were able to at least move into River to clear a little bit of vision. But honestly, Huhi has no wards left. There's no control wards in 100 Thieves inventory, and there's only 38 seconds. These recalls are too late to get proper setup. RNG's in a very good spot right now.
And they completely give up mid wave, which is weird because there's clearly enough time to play for mid before the actual dragon spawns. It's going to be grabbed now out of the tower, but this means RNG knows, oh, we have completely infinite control. We are seeing 3 of you on the mid lane. We see Aatrox in top tier. Cool. Everything is ours. We know we can crush all of your vision. This river is going to be a complete nightmare for 100 Thieves to walk through.
Yeah, Ssumday's going to kill that wave, go back to base, and then probably TP on mid or bot wave to approach. Huhi's also had time to go get wards, but you can see with Dragon up, the river is RNG's. So it's very difficult for 100 Thieves to move in. They're going to get mid push, but then Huhi essentially has to blind check. And it leaves a window for RNG to possibly engage Breathe.
Someone has to face check this. Dragon could be dying right now. Gala could be zoning out as Breathe simply solos it. This could be a Mountain Soul claimed in 4 seconds. 100 Thieves unwilling to walk toward the Mountain Soul. TP is coming in now. Finally, they spot vision onto Ming as he backs up. Breathe TP's in just now.
Ssumday's still on the side wave. Okay, he's teleporting in now.
And they've got to try to find their way to contest this one, but of course they know Amumu could engage it. Waiting on the wings, gonna be spotted. Maybe marked by Huhi, 4K health. At some point, you gotta walk in. Odin's gonna come across, smite it, and it's Mountain Soul claimed. Xiaohu buys time, and the team fight's gonna go a whole lot worse. Already Closer's burned his stopwatch, and he dies. And it's just time for the cleanup. RNG, which one will they kill next? A flash in, triple stun for Breathe. A follow through for Ming, and count him, 1, 2, 3. A stopwatch will still signal his fate, and everyone is dead. 100 Thieves take too long to find the fight, and RNG RNG fight it for him.
RNG is just better.
Oh, yeah.
There was portions in this game where RNG didn't have the setup and needed to outfight. They did. Then there's portions of the game where RNG had the setup and 100 Thieves had to out-execute, and they could not. RNG completely mopped the floor with 100 Thieves. They have the soul, they have the 12 kills, they've acquired the Baron, and they have blown this game wide open.
Now the 0-9 run for the LCS looks to be complete as this one ticks down. They're running it, and you can see that fight yet again. Xiaohu waiting in the wings. They know Closer's the guy to watch for. He's still nowhere near the pit. And when he finally tries to go in, just better smiting, because he is into the pit.
Yeah.
943.
But the difficulty here for 100 Thieves about not having first move there is even if if everyone jumps in to try and steal that Mountain Drake, they get clean ace because Ming will flash ult their entire team and they'll likely die. So they tried to move in without being all in range of the Amumu ult, which just makes it impossible to get a true 50-50. So Closer dies, he needed to go for the steal, and then once he was dead, everyone was too spread out, and that's when Kai'Sa feasts.
That's one of the nice things about going towards Mountain Soul is, like, if it's a Baron flip, they get Baron, they earn, like, 3,000 gold and golden XP and stats and whatnot, and it's like, oh, we lost a really big thing. If you flip Mountain Soul, it's like, oh no, you got 8% more armor. We 5-0'd you, by the way.
Yeah.
So, like, cool. They're actually okay flipping if you're already 3-0 Drakes. RNG,
For sure.
of course, get both sides of that one, so beautifully done. Better hands, better execution, and a big goose egg. 0 engage done for Huhi in that fight. Everyone dropped. Closer, of course, stuck in the pit there as well. So RNG now close out the game. They've got the Baron. The Red Bull Baron power play itself may even include the Nexus itself. 140 to go.
Yeah, and this could very well be the end of the
Gala
game.
dives in. He's already cleansed. He's going to go for a Closer now as well. The ult won't bring him anywhere. He's on the 2. One grab by Xiaohu. A stopwatch keeps Gala alive. And Ssumday now left alone. Does absolutely nothing. A quick stun for Ming. He's going to get out of the turret shots. He'll die to the tower. But it's going to be a whole lot done now. Gala will drop aggro in time. There is another ace. RNG 17-4 have slaughtered 100 Thieves.
It has turned into a rout. This one will be over before 27 minutes.
Some valiant efforts in the early to mid game. 100 Thieves got at one point a 2,000 gold lead, but could not cash in on a decent start. RNG 3-0 in the group.
Well-deserved victory here for RNG. 17 kills to 4. The defending MSI champions, spring split LPL champions, had that rough finish to the summer split, finishing 4th, but throughout the year, they have won all but one of their tournaments.
Yeah, a very strong team right now. 2 individual games, mostly inconsequential. Dropping first seed to DRX didn't matter, they won the best of 5. Dropping one game the best of 5 didn't matter much there either. They're still where they were going to always end up being in this group, getting through play-ins. And now that the group stage has started, 3-0, they've beaten all comers. Relatively convincingly too.
Absolutely, and